Good morning, everybody. I trust that you're okay, and I just want to appreciate you for watching all my past videos. But this morning we are looking at another fantastic topic, and the topic is boarding school, wise or wounding. Would you send your child to a boarding school? Why or why not? Boarding school, some will say taught them independence, some will say it make them to have emotional distance, and many African parents still choose this path, but at what cost? And some will say it taught me how to survive, it makes me to build independence, it makes me to have discipline, it makes me to have strong values. And some will say I just learned how to bottle my emotions, and it's created emotional gaps for me. It makes me to have a fear-based obedience. I struggle with connection later in life. So what we're asking this morning, does it really worth the price? Let's look at it. Does it worth you sending your children to boarding school or making them to attend school from home as a day student? So we're going to look at the advantages, because it has advantages and it has disadvantages. So one of the advantages is that it promotes independence and responsibility. Children will learn how to manage their time. They can manage their studies without parental help. They can build decision making, and it makes them to have self-discipline. And another one is that it has structured environment. Most boarding schools, they have strict schedules that can help with time management and academic focus. They have time for, okay, this is your prep time, this is when to eat, this is when to do this, so this is when to wake up. You don't just try to do any other nonsense around. Then the third one is that there is academic focus. There is fewer distraction, because their time is planned, so there are time to do this and that and that. So you can't just be wasting your time about. Then another point is that it makes them to have access to resources. There are a lot of activities like sports, like debates, like music, leadership training that they can have access to because they are in the boarding school. And another one is that there is peer bonding. This peer bonding can form strong friendship later in the future because they can share experiences together. So when your children are in boarding school, they can learn teamwork, they can learn sharing, they can learn social survival skill. Another one is that it can make them to reduce daily commute. There is no long hours of going to school daily, so they can learn that one can help them. It can reduce the time that they are wasting. So would you still put your child in the boarding school or not? But let's look at the disadvantages. The first one is that there is emotional distance from family. They are disconnected. They don't have emotional bonding with their family except during the holiday or when you go and visit them. So you see, that one is even the most important to me. Then the second one is that there says exposure to peer pressure. There are a lot of children that come there with a lot of training and background, and so they can influence your unsupervised children, because and there can be bullying, there can be abuse, anything can happen in the boarding house. And another one is homesicknesses and loneliness. It happens to some children. There is a child that, when I was in the boarding school, was sent from US to Nigeria to come and be in the boarding house, and the children and the parents were far away in the US. So there's no how that child will not feel lonely. You understand? And the fourth one is that there is less parental oversight. Your parents are not there with you, so they might not be able to give you the kind of oversight or comfort that you need at a particular time. You understand what I'm saying? So and another one is that some the boarding house, they have rigid environment. So some children, they struggle under strict rules and lack of freedom. Some children don't like that kind of a lifestyle. And another one is the cost. Boarding school is very expensive. When my father sent me to this boarding school, some people were asking him, but you have a house not far away from the school, why don't you allow these children to be day students? But that was his choice, and it was good for me. So the cost is also there. The parents must be prepared to bear the cost. So, and I want to say finally that not every child is the same. Some child will prefer to be a day student, and some child will be a boarding student. So you can't treat every child the same way. So you should consider the child's personality. You should consider the child's emotional maturity. You should consider your family values. You should consider the available support system before you go ahead and send your child to a boarding school. So with this and with some of the points I've discussed, would you still send your child to a boarding school? Why or why not? Please, can you put your comments in the comment section, and let's trash this out. And I also want to say that I went to a boarding school, but my younger sister, immediate younger sister, she was in a boarding school only for a term, because she didn't just like it. She said she prefers to be a day student. But I love boarding school. Though there are challenges that happen sometimes. You want advice, you might not be able to, you don't know who to tell, and you just follow the advice of your fellow student like you. So it has its pros and its cons. So just put your own comments and let's look at it. Thank you so much. It's nice speaking with you today. I appreciate you for listening to me. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.